Peace and blessings. This is Reza Giwala, the Divorced Muslima Coach, your host here in the Divorced Muslima Network. I wanted to hop on here today and just talk about separating with kids, talk about what happens with your relationship with your ex and what happens to the kids when you separate. And what I title this is as yours, mine, and ours. Now, when we start thinking like this, when we're talking about kids, your kids did this, did that, my child, my daughter, right? What I'm talking about when you're interacting and talking to each other, there's this, the way you're thinking about it in your mind and how you're framing it and then how you're communicating it makes all the difference, because that sets it up for communication, for hostile communication, actually, for defensive communication. Because and then not just divisive between you and your ex when you need to communicate, solve problems, and come up with viable solutions that's for the benefit of your child, but it's also painting the child by cutting them in half. Like, you know, the child didn't get into this world on its own. I mean, and if you think about it, you need to approach the child, looking at your child as a whole person. That means that they are half mom and half dad. So by just saying mine, you know, or yours, in times of frustration and anger, or you know, big feelings that you're experiencing in your separation, you're chopping your child in half, and you're not recognizing that your child is a whole healthy person made up of two people. And that's not healthy for the child. And then that comes across in the communication, and you know, it sets up a divisive way to communicate. It doesn't allow you to collaborate, and you know, it puts the child in the middle. Hey, Sadia, good to see you. So I wanted to just, you know, it's a really, really small thing that, you know, when you're angry, frustrated, upset, hurting, it automatically comes out of your mouth. It automatically slips out because you don't want to connect yourself to your partner, right? But as a mature, responsible adult parent, you have to rise above that, and every time you're thinking about your child, you have to take yourself out of it. When you're thinking about your child, take yourself out of the equation, and that's how you can approach talking to your ex or communicating to your ex about the child you both, you know, created and brought into this world. In a way that's helpful and beneficial and not harmful. I wanted to just leave you with that small shift in helping your child, because when you take yourself out of the equation and then you think about what is helpful and beneficial for the child, and you know, even when talking about your child having a relationship with the other parent that you may have big feelings about, right? There may be a lot that has happened and elapsed between the two of you. But recognize that has nothing to do with your child. And when you pull yourself out of it, then you can look at this, okay, well, this is my child's father. This is my son's father. This is my daughter's father, or, you know, mother, whoever, you know, we're in a group here of all sisters, so we're talking about dads here. Because a child needs a good, healthy attachment to each parent to thrive. Right? A good, meaningful relationship. And you don't want to be accountable to or responsible for hindering that or coming in getting in the way of that with your own conflicts with your ex. So that's something to be mindful of in terms of verbiage when it comes out of your mouth, or it comes to your mouth and you want to say it, mine, yours, and talking more about, you know, our kids or the kids. And that makes all the difference in how you're approaching the energy that you're bringing to the conversation and the type of results that you're going to have. So whether you're listening to this on the replay or you're here, leave me your takeaways, leave me what other questions that you have for this, and I hope that it was helpful for this reminder, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care. Peace and blessings.